The Coca-Cola bottling company of Northern New England is joining with a local nonprofit to help solve an environmental problem with some help from young adults. To tell us about Dear Future Boston are the company's Director of Public Affairs and Communications, Nick Martin, and from Save the Harbor, Save the Bay, the Director of Strategy and Communications, Bruce Berman. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
Before we get to the solution, I want to start with the problem. Bruce, you know the beaches, you know the waters around the beaches. What about this problem with containers?
Listen, the sobering fact is that by 2050, there's going to be more bottles in the ocean than there are fish, unless we do something. And I'll be honest, Chris, I don't like to admit this. I don't know what to do. We want to change people's behavior. We want to end this problem. And so instead of sort of guessing, I think that we're shopping around and looking for great ideas. And Coca-Cola came up with a strategy that I think is likely to come up with some very good ideas.
Nick, what about strategy? And why is Coca-Cola concerned about this?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious that we have a unique responsibility when it comes to this area. Obviously, a lot of the products that we sell are in plastic or aluminum containers. So we feel a great obligation, a great deal of responsibility to make sure those containers are handled responsibly after people are done enjoying our drinks. And the company, both nationally and globally, has this very serious commitment by 2030 to recover 1 can or bottle for every one that we sell. And this initiative that we're partnering with Save the Harbor, Save the Bay, and Bruce's organization here in Boston is part of that. Is going to be part of the solution to make sure that we're recovering all those containers.
Bruce, you talk about things ending up in the water, and a lot of us might say at first, why is that a problem for people here on land?
Well, I mean, just from an aesthetic point of view, and I mean, you've been a fan of Boston Harbor since before it was clean. We used to run not harbor tours like we're running tonight, but sewer tours. And if you take your boat and you put it off Long Wharf, and you'd wait just a few minutes, you'd see branded styrofoam cups shooting 15 feet in the air as they came through the storm drain, and the air in them made them float. It was pretty disgusting. Just because we can't see it as much doesn't mean that it hasn't continued.
Look, sometimes we do see it, and I have to admit, I've seen containers for other kinds of beverages. They could be alcoholic beverages or coffee.
Right.
I see a corporate logo there,
right.
And I resent the company that makes that. So I guess that's a problem for you at Coca-Cola.
It is. Brand reputation is fundamental to our success, and we want consumers to have a good feeling about our company when they think of our name. And so, like I said, we feel a unique sense of responsibility and stewardship over those containers after people have a beverage. I'll give you an example. I was with Bruce's team on Saturday for a cleanup at Carson Beach that we did in partnership with them. We had about 20 associates come out and volunteer for the morning, and we picked up a lot of trash off the beach that otherwise would have just stayed there had nobody acted. And some of those were beverage containers. A lot of them were food wrappers or paper or cigarette butts or that sort of thing. But we have a responsibility and an obligation to give back, and this is one of the ways that we can do it.
And Bruce, I guess the implicit message here is this is not something that people with wagons are going to come and pick up.
No, the truth is that there's some things that you can't solve unless everybody changes their behavior. This is one of them. It's not the first time that we've had the problem. It's not the last time that we've had. We do 5, 6, 8 beach cleanups a year, and island cleanups as well. And the truth is, whether it's dog waste or whether it's plastic on the beach, people have to behave better. We have to make it easy for them. The technology's out there. Call them trash barrels. We've got to make sure that our parks agencies have enough funds, and it's always a problem, to be able to send out the trucks that they need to empty the barrels before stuff blows away. Yeah. That said, when there is responsible corporate leadership, it helps. If government and nonprofits and the people and the companies are on the same page, we can get a lot done.
Right, and if I could just to piggyback on that, in addition to the trash barrels, having recycling bins in public spaces is really key. And I credit the city for taking a lot of leadership and putting more and more recycling bins in the public space. But when you go to the beaches and the parks, there's still an opportunity to see more of those. And I think that public education and having the infrastructure in place will help people make the choice that they want to make in the first place, which is to recycle.
This is BNN News, and we're talking with Nick Martin from the Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Northern New England and Bruce Berman from Save the Harbor, Save the Bay. Nick, The strategy to do something about this is to involve young people. How is that going to work?
Well, we know that there's no shortage of young people with creativity and with talent and inspiration that inspires us. And this generation, as much as any previous generation, if not more so, are really socially and civically active. So we know that they want to be a part of the solution in terms of making their communities better. So we're really trying to tap into that 18 to 24-year-old range of young people and call on them, people that feel a unique sense of responsibility to help improve the environment and to encourage them to send us their ideas for doing so.
Of course, the other reason, Bruce, is that the collaboration with the Coca-Cola bottling company here is that you're involved in environmental education with young people.
Absolutely.
What's been happening with that already?
Well, we have a pretty robust program. In fact, we've just onboarded our kids. We have a staff of 34, including 20 high school kids. They're going to be running, I think, 28 trips to the Harbor Islands, serving 10,000 kids, serving another 30,000 at 9 program sites. We touch a lot of young people, and the staff that run those programs, and there's lots of energy and enthusiasm, and frankly, no such thing as a bad idea. If you encourage people to think it through, they think it through at 90 degrees from the way that I think. And that's what we're going to need to make this happen. You and I've talked about a dozen organizing efforts, whether it's the Beaches Commission or, the effort to clean up the harbor. And some people are sort of top down, you look to the leadership and they tell you what to do. And others, it's grassroots up. At Save the Harbor, we try to find a mix. I think this project is looking for new ideas in the right place.
Nick, you're going to get people to provide some ideas and you can pick the best of them, but
Right.
What happens after that?
So what happens after that is there's an open submission portal, and if I could put in a sort of shameless plug for the website, www.coke.com/
I'm sorry, was that www.coke.com/
dearfuturecommunity.
Dear Future Community?
Yep, that's right. Thanks, Bruce. And people can go there and submit their ideas. That portal will be open from now until October 15th. And then after that, we'll work with Save the Harbor, Save the Bay. We'll work with local area Coca-Cola scholars that have been part of our programs in the past. And we'll vet those ideas. We'll determine who the sort of winning change maker is. And then that person will be paired up with people at the company like myself. We have a couple of folks that do sustainability work full time that can advise on a project like this, as well as Save the Harbor, Save the Bay, and the Coca-Cola scholars locally. And they'll get a $30,000 grant to really turn that vision into reality.
Bruce, what does a young person get from putting a focus on this?
The first thing they get is they get a sense of a problem that they can own and try to solve. And I think that all too often, people feel like that they're washed over by problems that are bigger than them, that they can't address. And it's frustrating. So the first thing that you get is a sense of empowerment. The second thing you get is, and I know this from experience, an unbelievable sense of satisfaction for seeing something that you thought of come to life. To me, that's the opportunity for the young person to be, as Nick says, a change maker.
Right.
Tonight we're going to sing Haul Away Joe, that great sea shanty, which I know you love so well, on the boat. And it's a lesson that we should all remember. If we all pull in the same direction, like they did to raise the sails on tall ships, we can get something terrific done.
Definitely.
When there's a problem that we understand, and we want to solve, we're unstoppable.
Hey, if they can clean up the harbor, who knows what's next?
You're right.
Nick, finally, one more time, that website.
It's www.coke.com/dearfuturecommunity.
And Bruce, you've got lots of things happening this summer, so if people want some details from Save the Harbor, Save the Bay.
Easy. Go to our website, savetheharbor.org, or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram,
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
Yeah, we're
we're around. Okay.
Great. Thank you both very much. Bruce Berman and Nick
Thank you,
Morgan.
Chris.
Terrific.